Masculinity and femininity in plants. With it have we produced diverse pairs of plants each separate from the others. Taha 53. He created two mates from all fruits. These verses of the Qur'an inform about the creation of plants in pairs and point to a great truth that can only be discovered in our century. With these verses, the Qur'an informs us that plants are created in pairs, and that plants also have femininity and masculinity. What do scientists say about this? Do plants really have femininity and masculinity? Let's listen to the words of the scientists now. In the studies on plants, it has been understood that there are masculinity and femininity in plants, and that reproduction occurs in plants thanks to these different organs. Both seed and flowering plants have male and female reproductive cells. These cells produce male and female organs, both of which are in the middle of the flower. In the swollen part of the female organ called the ovary, there are female reproductive cells in the small and round germs. The male reproductive cells are hidden in the pollen produced by the head part of the male organ. While the very light pollen is carried from flower to flower by the winds or by various animals, some of them stick to the stigma of the pistil. This pollen grain then descends down the neck and extends through a thin tube to the ovules of the eggs. The male reproductive cell also passes through this tube and unites with the female reproductive cell in the ovule. By the union of male and female reproductive cells, ovules and seeds are formed from these ovules. New plants grow from these seeds. Now let's consider this point. Biology was not an advanced science in the time of Prophet Muhammad. The reproduction of plants and the role of male and female elements in this reproduction were unknown. With the development of biology and botanical science, the existence of male and female reproductive cells in seed and flowering plants was understood. Botanists were only able to discover that there is a gender difference in plants 100 years ago. So how did an illiterate person know that plants have masculinity and femininity at a time when people were ignorant of botany and biology? There can be only one answer to this question. And that is this: he did not know this on his own. He knew with the notification of Allah, who made spouses out of plants. If this answer is not accepted, we cannot explain in any way that he informed about scientific facts and that his news turned out to be true. No mind can accept that an illiterate person who lived 14 centuries ago discovered a fact that scientists who spent their whole lives with biology and botanical science could only discover 100 years ago and wrote it in a book. Anyone who accepts this cannot be called intelligent. There is only one answer that the mind can accept, and that is that the Qur'an is the book of Allah.